Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, politicians accused of using ATS saga for own benefit. Sue the Stinson Bridge to open before June. And it's 3 days out from Christmas, and we tell you about dollar prices tonight.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
But first up, 5 ATS workers who had not returned to work have now decided to sign their letters and have opted to come back. Tonight there are reports that more of the workers who had stayed away from work are in the process of signing the letters in anticipation of starting work soon. Air Terminal Services Chair Riaz Said Qayyum has hit out at those who have turned the situation of ATS workers on strike into cheap political point scoring. Said Qayyum says the strike by about 300 ATS workers has very quickly turned into a political circus where opposing politicians have made false comments based on misinformation and assumptions. Kelly Vadala reports.
Politicians from opposition parties have been visiting these workers from the weekend and have also made political statements about the issue.
This whole thing has turned very quickly into a political circus. Politicians are, seeing this as a springboard to next year's elections. And it's quite obvious. I mean, the day I went there was Linda Tambuya of PDP. Oh, no, she's joined Sudelpa now. So she's not very decisive, is she? So she's joined Sudelpa. And Daniel Urai was there. He's part of Labour now. I can't keep up with these people. They're changing parties so much. And then I believe Mr. Aman Singh was there. He's a member of a political party. Then I believe I heard last that some other political parties were going there. So, they're making comments based on misinformation and assumptions.
Said Qayyum also says some politicians who are writing false information under the disguise of anonymous profiles on social media are deliberately distorting the truth for their own political gain. He adds while the ADSET members have said they do not recognize him as chair, they are still willing to meet and discuss their grievances with him.
ADSET does not recognize me as chair. So they've taken the matter to court to declare my chairmanship illegal. Yeah? This was some time ago, so the matter is still before the courts. However, when I got called to the meeting by Mr. Finau, and I did get called, I did not arrive at the meeting myself, I happened to be in Nandi and he called me, and he said, please, we want to talk to you, we want our staff to get back to work. So when I went to the meeting, the first question I asked them, I said, in what capacity are you talking to me? Am I a board member or am I the chairman of the board? So a look of puzzlement came over the whole, there's about 4 or 5 of them. They did not know what to say.
Said Qayyum has also clarified 3 directors of the ATS board were removed due to a huge conflict of interest.
They were removed from the board because of a huge conflict of interest. The chairman of ADSET, who is an alternate member, board member, who was nominated as an alternate board member, his name is Mr. Jaidir Singh. He was removed because he had applied for the job of CEO while sitting on the board. Just last week, Mr. Singh got interviewed a second time for the CEO's position. Second round of interviews. Because we wanted to make it transparent. He's got a fair chance. There were 2 people shortlisted for the CEO's position because it was re-advertised. The current CEO's position had come to an end. And Mr. Singh was one of them. And because of the fact that he did not recognize me as chair at his first meeting, and he created a fuss about me not being chair, I deliberately removed myself from the panel that interviewed Mr. Singh. Because I thought if I was in the panel, he may accuse me of bias. And the other 2 got removed. The other 2 got removed for huge conflict of interest as well.
The ATS chair has reiterated that it is not a lockout and the strikers have been given an option to sign the letter drafted by the management and return to work. The letter was given yesterday, which has been signed by some workers who have returned to work. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
A tropical disturbance near Vanuatu, TD04F, is expected to turn into a tropical depression and is slowly moving this way. It has a low to moderate chance of developing into a tropical cyclone in the days ahead. As for right now, a heavy rain alert is in effect for all of Fiji, along with the high wind warning for all national land and sea areas. TD04F is expected to pass close to Fiji, bringing heavy rain and strong winds from tomorrow night. Fairly constant rain and squally thunderstorms are anticipated. Those in areas prone to flooding are advised to remain alert for warnings and take precautions if needed. There's a chance TD04F will pass to the east of Fiji over the weekend, bringing an improvement in the weather on Monday. Remember to stay alert for further updates as the situation develops. The construction of the Stinson Bridge in the capital city is nearing completion and will most likely open for traffic in the next few months. The Fiji Roads Authority had put the rehabilitation of this bridge on high priority list, as it is one of the critical bridges in the city, which will help ease the traffic flow out of Suva once complete. Pranita Prakash reports.
Despite the many challenges faced by the FRA, work on the Stinson Parade Bridge is expected to complete before the targeted time. Initial plan was to finish construction by the end of next year.
I was down there a few days ago, looking very good. The approaches are being built now. The scheduled completion for Stinson Bridge is June 2018. The contractor is working extremely hard and doing a very good job, I have to say. And he's trying to achieve it earlier. He's trying to go for around about March or April of 2018. With the weather as it is and with some of the issues around people parking in areas they shouldn't be parking, it could get pushed back, but we are trying to get it open as soon as possible.
Jonathan Mua says other road projects will follow suit.
Opening Stinson Bridge is really important to the FRA because we need to work on other areas of Suva City. And we can't start the Sarup 2 contract, which is 23 roads in Suva, until Stinson Bridge and Batawanga Bridge are finished.
Once the bridge is fully operational, there are high hopes from commuters that traffic congestion in the city will ease.
For us drivers, it will help us a lot, and it will reduce traffic, help our people to easy to car to go and big traffic here.
Meanwhile, FRA CEO is urging motorists to take heed of the speed limits near work zones. Many drivers completely disregard the roadwork signs and the speed restrictions put in place, which not only puts them at risk, but the pedestrians and the workers as well. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Vessel owners have been warned not to overload this festive season, as has been the trend in the past. Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji is urging all vessel operators to keep the safety of passengers in mind, as also the hefty fines they may face for overloading. Savara Tambor reports. Still to come, as mentioned earlier, it's good news for those planning dalo consumption during Christmas. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singa toka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and the Moi Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko la ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 kina ndo Moi Viti.
Ayaw ko yazo sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali taki na ndo Venezuela, nagunto rongo, barong na Radio Fiji 1 na ndo Moi Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na ndo Moi Viti na honga ni BNN.
Lambasa shoppers and business owners are urged to make sure that thieves don't have a Merry Christmas at their expense. The Lambasa Chamber of Commerce also warns that police are out in numbers on the streets to deter would-be criminals.
The Lambasa Chamber of Commerce is urging retailers and shoppers to always be vigilant of shoplifting and pickpocketing during this busy time. President Satish Kumar says they want businesses and shoppers to enjoy the festive season without petty criminals ruining their fun.
Especially the public, be alert, see your wallet, your belongings, keep it safe. And I've also spoken to the DPC Northern and to provide more security, like the police officers in town.
As part of Operation Yalonde, there has been heavy police presence on the streets of Lambasa since last week. Kumar says there are always criminal elements lurking around to prey on unsuspecting businesses and shoppers.
All the public and especially the shopkeepers to be very alert. You know, take precautions that we don't know who is there to pick or rob or anything.
Crimes involving burglary, theft, vehicle break-ins, pickpocketing and shoplifting peak around Christmas. But for Lambasa town, there hasn't been any such reports received by police so far.
Our worry now is those opportunities that are coming out in urban centers, and would like to prey on those that are coming out to have their shopping in this last week rush to Christmas shopping.
The police is ensuring the public that they are doing their best to make sure that the festive shopping period passes without hiccups. Eleanor Turangaibu, FBC News.
Vessel owners have been warned not to overload this festive season, as has been the trend in the past. Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji is urging all vessel operators to keep the safety of passengers in mind, and also the hefty fines that they may face for overloading. Savaira Tambor reports.
There is often a lot of last-minute travelers to outer islands as families want to spend Christmas and New Year holidays with their loved ones. Vessel operators have to change their traveling schedule to cater for the demand.
Challenge is the last 5 years on overcrowding. You know, the facilities on board, they complain about facilities, but I'm doing my best to cater for the needs. You know, but my request to the terminal pilot, be patient, we'll get there. You know? So all I'm requesting them is enjoy the festive season, travel safely, and not to vandalize the vessel.
We have to slot some runs, like especially for Lakemba. Lakemba, we have to take 2 trips before franchise trips, so we can cater for all our passengers who want to go to the island.
Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji Chief Executive Tunindao says penalties of up to $250 per extra passenger will be given to operators who are found to have breached the condition.
To our various stakeholders, especially to our passengers that travel on ship, it is always advice from the authority that you take special care, take into account the maritime legislation that will protect you while traveling out at sea. For master mariners, for those ship owners, it's important that you keep your vessel safe during this festive season and make sure that no overloading occurs during this festive season.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Ports has also put in place measures to control congestion at the Narayan Jetty in Suva. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
The spike in dalo prices has always been a major topic of discussion for shoppers during the festive season. And with 4 days away from Christmas, there is good news on the horizon, as dalo prices this year is on a decline. Well, at least that is the word in the supermarket. Sainiani Boiler reports.
The shortage of dalo in the supermarket is no longer a problem, as most farmers have revived their dalo produce in an effort to meet the high demand during Christmas.
I brought 15 bundles and should be $15 each, but now I will have to reduce its price as there are many dalo in the market, and therefore I will reduce the price to have it sold.
Farmer 51-year-old Penny Ravai says the abundance of dalo in the market is set to benefit the customers, as the price will be on their side.
Maybe farmers are well prepared this Christmas and they are back after Winston even stronger. Now you can see the drop in dalo prices. You hardly see these kinds of dalo in previous years. Now some are $15, some are $10.
Dropping dalo prices this year has really caused us to lose out on profit. We have expenses to prepare the land, cost of labor, the plant, and the transportation of produce from the farm to the market.
The price of dalo this year is cheaper compared to the price last year. There's plenty of dalo this year, so the price of dalo this year is cheap compared to last year.
Dalo's price this year, it's okay, better than last year.
Inside that supermarket, there will be no repeat of previous years, where customers had to fork out as much as $30 for a bundle. At least this is a great start to that delicious lovo meal that will be prepared in hundreds of homes on Christmas Day. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
President Major General retired Chiochi Konrote visited the Golden Age home in Natambua, Lautoka. The visit was an opportunity for the head of state to thank the senior citizens who are residents of the home for their contributions to their families, communities and the nation. He also visited the Velomani Boys Centre in Ba. Speaking to the 17 boys residing at the centre, Konrote urged them to work hard towards achieving their goals. This is part of his Christmas visits to the special homes. Meanwhile, the FBC family gave gifts to the children of Raiwanga Hut in Navua. It was part of a Give a Kid a Gift drive whereby staff bought gifts for around 20 kids. It is FBC tradition, which was first initiated by former Just Kids host late Monica Ringamoto. The children between the ages of 1 and 17 were all smiles as they received personalized presents from host Sharon and the children's favorite character, Vusi. 22 forest technicians yesterday graduated after completing a 2-year advanced certificate in forest management. Presenting the certificates to graduates at the Forestry Training Centre in Tolo Isuva, Minister Osea Naingamu said it is an important occasion for the development of the forest sector in Fiji. To date, the Forestry Training Centre has awarded a total of 273 graduates with forest technician certificates. Pauliasi Linga received the Dux Award.
These graduates can enter the industry at forest guard level and also have the opportunity to advance their education to the diploma or degree in forest management program offered by the Fiji National University, or they could pursue undergraduate and postgraduate studies in the field of forestry in overseas institutions through scholarship.
Ahead in sports with Jamie Athletics Fiji to work on improving performance in future, but we now join Akosita for the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening. Coming up, 4.2% economic growth anticipated, and in growing Fiji, better access for Homes of Hope Refuge. Stay with us.
Moala ragada ranavika au tikongona tauna singa toka ando talitaka na wakaronga na Bull FM number 2 na serre
ya dora subuni kurna bili iborani batukara hambara binaranga do talitaki na wakaronga na Bull FM number 2 na serre
Bull FM number 2 na serre.
Leading business tonight, the Fijian economy is anticipated to grow by 4.2% this year after expanding by 0.4% last year. This is mainly supported by expansionary monetary and fiscal policies alongside ongoing structural reforms. For 2018, expectations are largely positive with an anticipated broad-based growth of 3.6%. The positive momentum is expected to continue with the economy projected to grow by 3.2% in 2019 and 2020 respectively. The Reserve Bank in its recent outlook says inflation has remained low in recent months and should be around 2.5% at the end of the year. We now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the money market.
Thank you. Let's quickly review the latest market developments. New Zealand has released its third quarter GDP numbers. They are 0.1% stronger than expected at 0.6%. Annual expansion was 2.7%. The British Consumer Confidence Index slipped to -13, its lowest in 4 years, from -12 in November. The Bank of England's first interest rate increase in a decade weighed in as a factor as consumers worry about their personal finances. Tomorrow, several economic releases. The United States will announce its GDP numbers together with their initial jobless claims. Their third quarter GDP is expected to close at 2.1%, while the jobless claims for December are expected to rise. The Bank of Canada will announce their inflation numbers for November, expected to increase to 2% from 1.4%. We will also have the EU release their macroeconomic data tomorrow, so we'll see how our week closes for our trade partner currencies. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. Now looking at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar rose against the New Zealand dollar and the Japanese yen and showed a minimal drop against the fluctuation of other currencies. As for the commodities market, oil prices rose a few cents to $58.06 a barrel. Gold rose a few dollars to $1,266.54 an ounce, and silver was on the rise at 16.2 an ounce. In growing Fiji tonight, major rehabilitation at Wailoku's Homes of Hope Private Road has improved access to the facilities. Fulton Hogan Highways contract manager Craig McNeely says the upgrade included shaping, grading, compacting and mantling the road surface. Homes of Hope is a locally owned refuge established in 1996 for high trauma individuals, young women and children victims to abuse and violence. In addition to accommodation for up to 26 girls and children, the refuge also operates sheep, piggery and tilapia fish farms. And that's business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Akashita, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, FNRL CEO Timothy Nalemba back in office, and FRU receives timely boost. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारियल रेकी से। मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन तो हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
Fiji National Rugby League Chief Executive Officer Timothy Nalemba is back in office.
Board members had the opportunity to clarify issues that they wanted to have clarified from a couple of months ago. So the board resolution yesterday was, in having all of those things clarified, that Mr. Nalemba would resume duties straight away after his leave.
Meanwhile, the FNRL and the Fiji New South Wales Cup bid team expects to give its final endorsement by Monday next week.
We really had a good meeting yesterday. There were a number of things that we wanted Petero and the bid team to have clarified. So we've sent those issues and concerns to them by email yesterday.
Athletics Fiji contributed 21 medals to Team Fiji's tally at the Pacific Mini Games in Vanuatu. Team manager Joe Roden Jr. says they did exceptionally well considering they took a young team. Luciana Tangitakimbao reports.
Athletics Fiji scooped 7 gold, 10 silver and 4 bronze medals at the Pacific Mini Games last week.
With this young group of athletes, they are the future. They are the next generation that will be stepping up. And I guess that's a pretty daunting for a lot of other sports countries that are there. With it goes to show that if you have a well-balanced team and the dynamics between them actually gels really well, anything's possible. And the 4 gentlemen actually proved that. And one of the things, that statement that was made over here is the PNC guys who took the lead. We had to make a point that we did have the fastest man in the world in the Pacific, and it wasn't a fluke. So he ended up running down the PNG sprinters for the whole of the Pacific to see.
While Athletics Fiji still has work on, weightlifting Fiji gold medalist Apollonia Vaivai says the mini games was a good start for her heading towards the Commonwealth Games next year.
Great one, even though I had no competitors, but trying to keep up on my weights was good. It was not too bad.
6 weightlifters have qualified to the Commonwealth Games in Australia next year. Luciana Tangitakimbao, FBC Sports.
Roy Krishna's struggling Wellington Phoenix has lost a key player and its assistant coach. The Rugby Union finished off the 2017 season with a boost from Carpenter's Motors. The company giving the FRU its 6th vehicle today as a sign of continuous support for rugby In accepting the vehicle, FRU Chief Executive John O'Connor said he hoped to grow their partnership in the lead-up to the next World Cup.
Before I receive it, we sincerely hope that we can sit down and negotiate a new sponsorship agreement to take us to 2019 World Cup.
Today's play of the day is taken from football's League Cup quarter-final match played earlier today, and it's the goal from second-tier Bristol City that knocked cup holders Manchester United out that makes the pick. The game was heading to extra time until Corey Smith stunned Jose Mourinho's side to grab a 2-1 win and book a semi-final spot for the first time since 1989. That's it from Sports Tonight. Join Angie later on with weather, and in our new media segment, Twitter launches campaign to rule out hate speech. Details coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo silil tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabali, nagundurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In new media tonight, the social network Twitter has launched its campaign to rule out hate speech. For the past 2 years, Twitter has been working with its Trust and Safety Council, a body of experts in online safety, to balance running a platform for free speech with curbing violence and harassment. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. First off, there's a heavy rain warning in effect for the Fiji group. Tropical depression TD04F is off to the west and is expected to come this way, bringing us heavy rain over the weekend, so do take care. Taking a look in the west, it was pretty cloudy, but you can expect showers later tonight. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, a little bit sunshine was around, but we could have overnight drizzles. And up north, quite cloudy with light showers. At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tonight will be at 9:34 with low tide at 4:04. Sunrise will be at 6:28. For tomorrow, showers and more showers are predicted for the day. Tomorrow's temps, Suva and Savu Savu will be cool with highs of 29 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, truly a wet weekend. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji Pulse tonight, we asked, what is your preferred dish on Christmas Day?
I think I'll have fish from the sea and dal from the market and roasted chicken with tomato sauce.
We have lobo and chop suey, curry, lamb shank, and you name it, there is.
I think my mom will bake a cake, chop suey, and my favorite lobo.
Christmas, I would like to have lobo, pork especially with dal.
I love to have barbecue.
My favorite dish for this Christmas is fish with coconut milk.
This Christmas I would like to have the lobo with the coconut milk and fish with meaty and plus the coconut.
This Christmas I would like to have roast chicken with dalo and a bowl of kava.
Well, my most preferable dish for Christmas is seafood.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, studying music's healing powers. Music hath charms, the saying goes, and it does have power to make us happy, sad, or even ignite a social change. But it also has healing powers, and researchers want to know how that works. Recapping the main stories, politicians accused of using ATS Saga for own benefit sue the Stinson Bridge to open before June. And Christmas hype grips country. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking: should more neighbourhood watch zones be set up to counter criminal activities? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, taken by Abdul Beg at Tivor Island in Malolo. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Bye for now.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and the moi viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Uti ko minasong buti ko lang ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 kina ndo moi viti.
Ayaw ko yato sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali takili ang gagawin na sabali, nagunto rongo. Varorong na Radio Fiji 1 nando moi viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 nando moi viti na ponga ni BNN.